I just got back from a talk with a potential client, and they shared a horror story with me about the experience that they experienced while they were booking via one of these lovely booking sites. And the experiences that they had actually bugged me so much that I had to share it with you guys. So, first of all, let me just kind of get into position and I'll share this story with you. Now, this client shared this story with me. They actually booked a holiday. They wanted to go to Turkey. They were heading out to Turkey, but they wanted to change some details on their flights they wanted to change the details with their holiday to obviously cater so they could go on holiday with their friend. So, he calls up his travel agent. No, not even his travel agent. He calls up the place where he booked the hotel from, and then it turns out that he wanted to change the dates, move them by 2 days, so he could travel on the same days that his friend was actually traveling, which is actually a good thing. So he wanted to share his experience with his friend and obviously make it more amazing experience overall. So he calls them up, says that he wants to change around. They've said, yes, oh, we got flights for that date. You can change it. Okay, we'll shift it around. And then, boom, there you go. All good. So, he first of all books all that, has that all sorted, thinks everything's all fine. Goes out on his holiday, jumps on his flight's all okay, flight travelling over there's all fine. Gets to Turkey now, finds out that he's not on a transfer list. So, to go to his hotel. That was number one. So he obviously finds out what's going on his transfer list. He finds out that he's on a different transfer list. Well, they arranged the transfer list, sorted one out for him, took him to his hotel. Then it turns out now that he gets to the hotel, and the hotel now say that he hasn't got a room whatsoever. He's actually due to be booked in 2 days later. So he now is stuck in a country with no hotel room, nothing he can actually do, and he's now panicking, worrying what the hell's he going to do for 2 days. He's going to be stuck in a country with no hotel and nowhere to sleep, no bed, nowhere to stick his luggage, or no security. He's just in limbo. Now, obviously, these sites that you like to book it on have a policy where that if you have a customer complaint or anything of the sort, it takes them 24 hours before they can get back to you and deal with any form of issue of your request. Now, that in itself was a pain in his ass because he was stuck in a country with no hotel, just flown over, and now he has to wait 24 hours before he gets anything or any form of response or somebody to deal with this issue. Like, seriously, straight away, that was like no emergency phone call number, no person he could contact, no person he could actually speak to and get this issue resolved straight away. I mean, this was no mess up of his own. This was a mess up on the behalf of the sites that he booked his holiday with. So this now has him in limbo, so now he has to figure out what he's going to do. He tries to book at the hotel tell him that he has no rooms until the day he's due to book. So he's now panicking now. He ends up managing to, no, he speaks to one of the Turkish guys. They've got a hotel. The hotel itself was like, oh, we got hotels just around the corner. It will cost you £200 per night to stop at this hotel. So obviously he's thinking £200 a night. That's pretty down steep for a hotel room, considering he's just spent, I think it was £600-700 per person for the whole entire holiday that he originally paid for. Now he's having to try and find £200 per night, one hotel. So that was dilemma one that he was actually labelled with, and also he felt that something wasn't right. So he had contacted back home, made some phone calls. Somebody bailed him out actually by looking up the hotels that were suggested that had rooms, etc. Ended up getting in for more of a discount price, but the cost of it actually came at his cost. Now, what if he didn't actually have that spending money? He would have been screwed. But overall, it didn't just end there. So First of all, he found out that when he was in Turkey, the person was trying to have him over, trying to make him spend more than he needed to spend. On top of the fact that the original mess up where his his flight was moved, but his hotel room wasn't moved along with it. There was no transfers, and he had to wait 24 hours to deal with this request or deal with this problem. That left him in limbo. He ended up eventually just paying through the nose, sorting things out, going to a hotel, then obviously stopping in a hotel for 2 nights. But it didn't stop there. This nightmare continued. So as this proceeds and it prolongs and goes on, he does his 2 night stays. He comes back to his hotel, ready to check in now. Comes into his check-in. The hotel now is subpar standard. Remember, the hotel he's actually just booked for 2 days had all the basics amenities that he needed and was a very nice, luxurious hotel. But the hotel he originally booked now was subpar, had no internet, had no Wi-Fi, literally had no air conditioning, and it was very, very basic. So it didn't even meet the basic needs in which he wanted. So now he's like, I don't want to stop in this hotel, being as I've just spent 2 days in a better star hotel than this one. What can you do for me? Being as this mess up is not my fault. They told him it's going to cost him an additional £50 per night to transfer or upgrade to another hotel, which is actually part of their chain, and to make it smooth it all over. So another cost coming out of his pockets that he's had to fork out just so he can get the basic standards, which was supposed to be in his original hotel booking that he actually had. This it's frustrating for me to actually even see that this could even happen. That didn't end there. It got even worse. He now upgraded, went to his new hotel. The new hotel didn't have any hotels in the hotel because people were checking out to the hotel rooms within the hotel, but they had an outside hotel room across the street, which was a subpar. So if you wanted to stop in this hotel, it would be you are now traveling inside the hotel from outside to come in to have all your amenities, your breakfast, etc., etc. But he was like, well, I want to stop inside the hotel, considering I paid more now for an upgraded version of my hotel room to get all my amenities, to get my hotel and have all the luxuries in which I wanted. He was unable to do this. He had to pay more out of his pocket again just to try and get the rooms, wait for days for a room to be exchanged and moved over. He then also, because his friend was unaware of these discrepancies within the hotels, the lack of services, lack of everything possible, he's now had to pay extra also for his friend to upgrade to the same hotel, so he's got the same amenities and everything else, and that his friend can actually enjoy it. This is not acceptable in my eyes, not acceptable in any shape or form. I mean, as a travel agent, no way would I allow this to happen. This is a reason, one major reason why we need travel agents, because a travel agent will be there on holiday with you. A travel agent will make sure that you have their personal number so you can get on that phone, call them, and they can rectify that problem straight away, because there is no way that I'm going to be leaving 24 hours before I'm going to rectify a problem, especially if I was the one that was responsible for messing up that actual booking. Not that that would ever happen, but this whole dilemma that's actually occurred is just one of the hundreds of millions of thousands of reasons, horror stories that I've heard as to why I became a travel agent, to help people travel better, to help you travel safer, to make sure that you don't end up with these problems, so you don't end up coming at extra cost of your pilot, so your experience doesn't get ruined by silly, crappy, horrible, shite problems like this. Honestly, this, I don't know what to say. As travel companies, you should do better. And this is just one of the horror stories I hear. So I just had to get out of my chest and share that with you, because it made me think. It made me think about the service I provide and what I actually do for my clients. So, peace.